All right, today we're jumping into a huge topic, something that's tripping up even the smartest companies out there: AI governance. Everyone's in a mad dash to adopt AI, but there's this hidden roadblock that's causing massive problems. So, what is it? Let's get into it. So, let's just start with a number: 70%. Just let that sink in for a second. What on earth could that be? Yep, a staggering 70% of AI projects with huge budgets and brilliant people, just don't deliver. It's kind of wild, right? So the big question is why? Why is this happening? And that brings us to what you could call the AI transformation paradox. You've got companies pouring money into this stuff, but the results just aren't there. And you know what? The problem isn't the tech. It's not about having fancier algorithms. It's something much, much deeper. And the data, well, the data tells a pretty clear story. This is a full-blown governance crisis. A shocking 70% of organizations admit they don't have a solid AI governance model. And even worse, 80%, that's 4 out of 5, are lacking proper risk controls. There's this massive gap between what they want to do and what they're actually prepared to do. Okay, so it sounds a little bleak, right? But the good news is there's a map. There's actually a globally recognized standard out there designed to guide us through this maze. It's called ISO/IEC 38507. So what is this thing? Well, you can think of it as the official rulebook. It's written for the people at the top, the governing bodies, to make sure that the way their organization uses AI is effective, efficient, and, acceptable. It's basically the what you need to do for good AI governance. And when you crack open that rulebook, you'll find it's all built around 6 critical areas that you absolutely have to get right. Things like having clear oversight, making sure humans are involved in decisions, using data properly, aligning with your company's values, staying compliant, and, of course, managing risk. It's a really solid checklist. But hold on, this is where things get really interesting. If we have this fantastic standard, if we know the rules of the game, why are those failure rates we talked about still so ridiculously high? There's a puzzle here. Let's just ask it directly. If the what is laid out so clearly in the ISO standard, why are we still seeing that 70% of companies don't have a working governance model? What are we all missing? And here it is. This is the light bulb moment. It's the huge difference between knowing what you need to do, the principles like oversight and risk management, and knowing how to actually do it. Having a list of principles on a shelf is not the same as having real, systematic processes and controls that work every single day across the whole company. That's the implementation gap. So how do we build a bridge across that gap? Well, that's where a framework called Integrated Process Excellence, or IPE, comes in. This is the operational bridge that connects those high-level principles to on-the-ground practice. And honestly, this quote says it all. IPE is designed for one specific purpose: to connect the what from the ISO standard with the how of making it a reality in your day-to-day operations. Now, let me be clear, this isn't some brand new, untested idea. IP is built on over 30 years of rock-solid, manufacturing-proven disciplines. We're talking about the kind of rigor used in industries like aerospace and automotive, where getting it wrong is just not an option. It's about bringing that level of discipline to AI. So you're probably asking, okay, sounds great, but how does it actually work? Well, this integrated process excellence framework lays out a super clear 6-step path that lets you turn those abstract governance policies into concrete, real-world actions. So here are the 6 steps: architecture, documentation, analysis, standardization, controls, and improvement. Now, we don't have time to go through every single one, but let's just zoom in on a few key examples to see how they directly fix those big problems we saw at the beginning. Okay, let's start with step 1, architecture. This is all about building the master blueprint for your entire AI world. It directly tackles that 70% governance gap, so instead of having a bunch of disconnected AI projects running wild, IPE helps you map out everything. And just like that, the leadership team gets this incredible bird's-eye view, finally giving them the visibility they need to actually govern. Then you've got step 3, analysis. This one goes straight after that terrifying 80% gap in risk controls. It brings in these battle-tested tools from manufacturing, like FMEA. Now that sounds super technical, I know, but all it really is a structured way to ask, hey, what could go wrong here, and then making a plan for it before it happens. You're basically hunting for risks so you can fix them before they become total nightmares. And finally, let's look at step 5, controls. This is about providing the ongoing assurance that's so often missing. You know how AI systems get deployed and then nobody really watches them?
Well, IPE stops that cold. It sets up continuous monitoring with dashboards and clear metrics so you can track performance and risk in real time. It's like a flight control system for your AI, making sure everything stays on course.
And this is where everything flips on its head. Because when you have a system like this in place, AI governance stops feeling like this annoying chore, this compliance burden you have to deal with. It actually becomes a massive strategic advantage. And suddenly everybody wins. The board, they finally get clear visibility and accountability. Executive management, they get to scale AI projects and actually see a return on investment. The compliance teams have a systematic way of doing things. And the tech teams, they get clear rules of the road, which means less frustration and more time to innovate. It just aligns the entire organization. So if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. A structured, operational framework doesn't slow you down. It actually turns governance from an obstacle into an engine for innovation, letting you move faster, safer, and with way more confidence. And that really leaves us with one final question you should probably ask yourself. Right now, in your organization, is your approach to AI governance a burden that's holding you back, or is it a strategic advantage that's pushing you forward?